call this meeting to order. Start with roll call.
Mayor Sherman.
Here.
Councillor Garrell. Councillor Klink-Hemmer.
Here.
Councillor Lundstrom.
Here.
Councillor Spradlin. Councillor Tyree.
Here.
Councillor White.
All right, well, for the agenda, approval of the agenda, just additions or corrections, I think we'll postpone the executive session since we're missing half of our council members. So
I make a motion to approve with the addition of canceling the executive session tonight for November 14th, 2022. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councillor Klink-Hemmer.
Yes.
Councillor Tyree.
Yes.
Councillor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Approval of the minutes. We've all had a chance to read through the minutes from our last meeting. Does anybody have any corrections or revisions? And I'd look for a motion to approve them.
I move we approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 24th, 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Councillor Lundstrom.
Yes.
Councillor Klink-Hemmer.
Yes.
Councillor Tyree.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. All right, that motion passes. Visitors and delegations, I don't see anyone in the audience here today, so I'm going to guess there are no visitors and no citizen comments. So we'll move on to management. First off is the agreement with Riverside Irrigation District. We'll have Dale Colrick report on that one.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As we approach, actually it's been more now than 30 years since our Riverside agreement had been originally signed, and over those last 30 years the value of augmentation has changed dramatically. And so our original agreement from 1992 was only for 30 years. And so when approaching Riverside on renewing this agreement, they wanted to make some changes. The two most notable changes are they're not going to do another 30-year agreement. They want to pull that back to 10 years because 30 years was such a very long time. And so the term of the agreement is going to be for 10 years. So we'll be back again in 10 years visiting with them on this. The other significant change is the amount of acre feet that we get in terms of augmentation from Riverside through this agreement. It used to be 413 acre feet per year, and now that's going to be trimmed back to 341 acre feet per year. When we did the original agreement, it was just kind of novel at the time, and it was at this point it's sort of like 2 to 1. We get 2 parts benefit for their 1 part benefit, and they want to bring that closer to 1 to 1. And this here is about 1.5 to 1. So it's still a significant amount of water. However, this is probably going to be the best deal that I can negotiate out of them. And so those are the major changes. And so,
and I was going to make a comment that Dell's did a great job in these negotiations and discussions with Riverside. They're pretty technical because there's all different types of water shares that we're dealing with, and those water shares can be used in different ways, each one of them. Mm-hmm. And they each have different value as far as how much water they provide. But the one thing is we're dropping down in the amount of acre feet. However, we've never really used that many acre feet of water regardless. So we're probably running about 50% of usage of that actual augmentation plan in the water. So we're still going to be in a pretty good position, longer term with water. And Dell, I believe you had made a comment that the water agreement, this last one was 30 years, but this next one that we're going to get into is shorter.
correct.
And so is this one a 10-year?
10-year.
10-year. And so that's still, pretty good security for us. And so everyone understands this water is used for some of the farms that we own. It's an extra layer of protection for some of the farms, the water that we pump on those farms. It's also used for our baseball fields,
Mm-hmm.
some of the baseball fields. It's also used for the Doty Pond, putting water in a Doty Pond, and also for the wastewater treatment facility, the farm out there. And so it's a very valuable one for us, but again, we're going to have plenty of water to do what we've done the last 30 years, moving forward for the next 10.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to notice the state engineer, all the parties that were part of the original agreement. We just have to notice them. We don't have to take this back to water court or anything like that. We just need to make them aware that we're going to be shy 6 acre-feet a month now from what we used to have. And so instead of 35 and change, it's more like 28 and change. So we'll notice that there. And again, with the reason we didn't, I know that there was hopes that we could make it even a shorter term than 10 years because things are very dynamic in the water world these days. However, the water court wants to see stability in your agreements for these augmentation credits. And so we're going to be looking at the 10-year is about as long as we can push it out. So, with that, I'll entertain any questions. Okay, this is a draft. I'll be back again next council meeting.
See you in 10 years.
Pardon?
Do it again in 10 years.
Yep, and, yeah, next meeting and then in 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Okay, so that was,
The agreement with the side integration.
so we need a motion to approve that agreement? Or is that just a-
No, next meeting.
The
So
next meeting, that
this-
was just like the
yeah.
first, okay,
We'll bring it back, put it on as an official
Okay.
management item.
very good. Next up is we need to appoint someone to the museum board. Kevin Strow was our appointment to the Brush Museum Board, and he's no longer on council. So we need someone else to act as that liaison between us and the museum. I don't know if anyone here is
I could do that.
interested? Very good, awesome. So, if everybody's okay with Larry doing that, I would look for a motion to approve that.
I make a motion to approve Larry as the appointment for the museum board.
My second.
Very good. Thank you for volunteering, Larry.
You bet.
Roll call vote.
Counselor Lundstrom,
We're voting.
Oh, yes.
He's like, he's not gonna vote now?
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Counselor Clint-Cameron.
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Larry.
Yep.
Next we have resolution number 2022-10. Joanne Goslink will be reporting on this one.
As most of you know, every year, towards the end of the year, we usually always have to do, I shouldn't say usually always, we always do end up doing a supplemental budget resolution, mainly because we always get the Joslyn Needham money the last day or two of December, and that's not budgeted at the time we do our budget. So this year, we do have 4 funds that we're supplementing. The capital improvement fund, because of the street improvements that we had budgeted for, ran over more than what we had in plan, so we're supplementing that. The fire equipment fund, the rescue pumper did not get completed in 2021. It was finalized in 2022, so we have to make up that difference. The golf course, their revenues and expenditures are more than we anticipated for the 2022 budget. And then Joslyn Needham, we did receive $236,000 in donations for 2022, and so I'm supplementing for that at this time. And the Cemetery Perpetual Care Fund, we're supplementing approximately $20,000. That's for that software. They're still in the process of doing it, and we're not 100% sure how it's going to happen, if it's even going to be finished. But because that's such a small fund and a small budget, I went ahead and gave us cushion. We may not probably even use it, but that way if something funny would happen, we'd have it available and be covered. So that's why it's there. So with that, I'm just requesting that council approve my resolution number 2022-10 for a supplemental budget.
Very good. Thank you, Joanne. Does anybody have any questions? I'll look for a motion to approve that. Probably should read the whole thing since we haven't really read the whole thing yet. The title anyway, not the whole resolution, the
I
title.
would move that we approve resolution number 2022-10, a resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray expenses in excess amounts budgeted for the city of Brush.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Clint-Cameron.
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom,
Yes.
Counselor Tyree,
Yes.
Mayor Sherman.
Yes. Motion passes. Next, we have a public hearing on the 2023 budget. We have Joanne again.
So as council is aware, we have been working on our budget since August. We had a public hearing on where the department heads presented each of their line items, requests for 2023. We have had a capital outlay public hearing where the department heads presented their wishes for capital outlay. We had a meeting with council on the personnel and compensation. And then last week, on Wednesday evening, we did the budget retreat. And so with that, at the end of that meeting, we told council that if they didn't mind, we would come back this week and ask to approve the resolutions. There are 3 of them for the budget, and the actual physical budget you will see either the 28th of November or the first council meeting in December. So with that, I've got resolution number 2022-11. That's the resolution to adopt the budget. And then I have resolution 2022-12, and that's a resolution appropriating sums of monies for the various funds. And then the 2022-13 is a resolution setting our mill levy, which it's the same as it's been for numerous years, 15.66.
Very good.
Do we make a motion for each one of them? Yeah?
Do we need to do, well, there's no public comment. Is there a process we need to go through since it's actually a public hearing?
I would open the public hearing, ask for comment.
Okay.
Close public hearing, just to have record of it.
Okay. So we're opening the public hearing to discuss the 2023 budget. We've had our staff report. Is there any public comment? Any questions?
Oh, did you make the comment, the annual comment about the highway user tax funds and how we use those?
We did not.
You better make that statement.
Get back over there.
Joanne.
We will
Your
do
job is
that.
not done yet.
Give me 2 seconds. So annually, we appropriate funds that we receive from the state of Colorado for the highway users tax. And the money that we are going to be receiving, estimated amount that we received in 2022 will be approximately $150,000. That was used on the streets. And then what we have budgeted for 2023 is also $150,000, and that will be for streets and traffic control. Both of those are for streets and traffic control. Okay?
Good. Thank you. Should we do separate vote for all 3 of these, or
Yeah, so we should probably close the public hearing.
Okay. It's a good thing you showed up tonight. All right, so if there's nothing else, we'll close the public hearing
then I
and
would
look for
vote separate.
motions to approve these resolutions separately.
Move we approve resolution number 2022-11, resolution to adopt budget.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. That motion passes. Then we have resolution number 2022-12.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-12, appropriating sums of money to the various funds and spending agencies in the amount and for the purposes as set forth for the city of Brush, Colorado for the 2023 budget year.
A second.
Any discussion?
Man, I need glasses.
Roll call vote.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. And then third, we have resolution 2022-13, the resolution to set the mill levy. Look for a motion on that.
Move we approve resolution number 2022-13, resolution to set the mill levy.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Lindstrom?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. And that motion passes. All right. We will move on to finance.
I move we approve disbursements and payroll for October 25th, 2022, through November 14th, 2022, totaling $599,423. $599,423.51.
I'll second.
I give it on the third or fourth try.
All right, any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Tyree?
Yes.
Counselor Klinkhammer?
Yes.
Counselor Lundstrom?
Yes.
Mayor Sherman?
Yes. All right, that motion passes. Time for staff reports. I don't see Tyler. Lance Schwinn, Director of Community Services.
Oh, you skipped right over Chief.
Chief?
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
we got fancy teeth
Sorry.
today. I don't know.
I didn't recognize you. No, I just didn't see your name there. My bad.
That's all right,
Keep
I'm
us.
easy to overlook. I helped Lockley with the promotional process today, thus I'm not in uniform, so. Just a couple items tonight, all relating to staffing, but our second CSO resigned about 10 days ago.
Oh, no.
Was almost finished with training and just kind of had a few hiccups with animals, and unfortunately in our position, we do have to put them down sometimes, and that was a little much for him, so
Oh.
he stepped down. And then the second staff thing is I will be leaving Brush. I accepted a position with the town of Eagle as their next chief of police. So my last day will be December 9th. I start there December 12th. Very bittersweet for me and my family. We absolutely love Brush. It's a great community, and this is home. This is also a great opportunity for me. So I've been talking to Monty as this process has gone along. Just a very quick overview, their chief retired, reached out to me, suggested I apply. I did, and then with the whole school investigation going on, I actually stepped back and said I didn't feel comfortable leaving Brush because of that, and I didn't want to leave the department. They reached out to me at the end of September and asked if I would reconsider, and actually moved very quickly from that point on after my wife and I did chew on it for a while, and then finally did say yes, we would reconsider. So again, Brush will always have a soft spot in our hearts, and I don't know if I'll be following Dale's mantra of we'll be back, but we definitely won't be strangers. So
Very good.
that's all I've got.
I hope it works out for you, Chief. That's,
Thank you.
that sucks. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always good to leave
congratulations.
while you're missed, though.
What's that?
It's always good to leave while you're still missed.
Yeah.
We'll go break the law and Eagle to see you again.
Sounds good.
Speak through Eagle now and then.
That's what I know.
Fun.
I'm a fancy chief boss.
You might not recognize me there either.
There you go.
That's why I didn't call on you, because I didn't want to hear that. Congratulations, I'm
Yeah,
happy
best of
for
luck,
you.
Chief, for sure.
Thank
will
you.
be missed.
Thank you very much.
But we still get to see you for a couple more meetings. At least one more meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 more weeks from Friday.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you. All right, Lance.
Oh, you gotta follow that one, Lance.
He's coming with you.
Quickly. It doesn't work anyway.
Not for them, it'll work.
Yeah.
Since you weren't touching it, we might be safe.
He's the problem?
You're too close.
Wasn't just me.
She's just gonna run it for me. I just, I thought putting just a quick slideshow together about the Prairie Trails expansion would be easier than me just explaining it to you. And I think Loranda had made the slides for you guys to take and can look at away from here. But anyway, this is will be the beginning of our development over there at Prairie Trails. And we called it Prairie Trails Phase 1A because there's actually 3 phases, but we're gonna even do each phase in phases too. Because money is at a premium, and we wanna be able to do it as thoughtfully with respects to the city's budget as possible. And so we are gonna do it this way, and which goes into our next slide. The benefits to the community, for one, it's much needed field space. We keep resorting back to the school district when they built the new high school. It's a beautiful facility, and they do have a lot of grounds, but with baseball and softball fields, it really did eliminate three of our practice fields. And so over these last 4, 5, 6 years, we've been at a loss for field space, and it's really hurt our programs overall. So this will enable us to have a couple more practice fields. Also, the ability to have a few more game fields too that we can easily adjust to and that sort of thing. But it does give us additional field space. This also will complete the initial infrastructure. That was always the big thing that in the past has been, people want to see the ball fields right there, but they don't understand irrigation's got to go in, sewer lines, water lines, all that stuff has to be put in before you can even think about putting the sod on the fields and the infield mix and the bases and all that sort of thing. So this will at least get that going. And then, of course, Joanne had to correct me today, but I guess ARPA only has 1A. So then Monty said, well, you spoke at the active older adults. Maybe I was thinking of
ARP.
Over half the funding will be through donations and the ARPA funding, and there's really no general funding with this project. I mean, we'll have Conservation Trust, which is part of the lottery money, and then we've also requested the funding from the Joslyn Needham and Pettis Foundations. And during our meetings, they seemed pretty amendable to it, and I guess we'll see here in the next few weeks, but we are at that point right now. As far as what we get when we, go ahead to the next one. This is kind of the layout here. I'll just point at them. The first two fields that will be done are these two on this side right here, kind of closer to the dog park. This will be a 300-foot field so that we can play with a little bit of our older kids, and then this is more for youth baseball, girls fast pitch, but we can do both on both fields, but this one's just a little bit smaller. We picked those two fields instead of these two just because more bang for your buck having a little bit larger of a field and everything, and it just worked out better for us at that point. Also with this project, and Dale probably knows a little bit more, but we have a sewer line that runs pretty much right through the property. So we're taking that sewer line and it'll be right there. So eventually, if we do put restrooms in, we do put a concession stand in, all that sort of thing, we'll have that available. We'll have it stubbed in, and we have a water line that will run across and bring it in here for the same reason, to have potable water there. We'll be using the irrigation water from the pump that we had talked about earlier during that waters the park and also the fields and that sort of thing. So that's what's going to be done. So a lot of infrastructure, 2 ball fields that will have backstops and safety fencing and dugouts, but we won't have like the home run fence yet in there. And and we won't have it. They won't be lighted at this point either. So that's just to get the fields going, and then from that point on, as we have money, we can keep building on this until we finally get the fields completed. I guess next one. So I don't know if you can even. I know you can't see it on there because I can't see it, but I have a copy of the engineer's estimates and everything else that I can also make. Copies with and all that. But this is the engineer's estimate, and like I said, a lot of the numbers. This is an estimate. They can fluctuate a little bit here and there, high or low. Chad Cox has been working with me over the last several weeks on these estimates, and he assures me that a lot of these numbers are on the high end, but I'll believe it when I see it, of course. But we feel as though we're in the ballpark of that $375,000 to get this initial phase done, and just looking forward to it. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I think it's just going to be a great addition, especially when it's all completed, and hopefully, if things go well, weather cooperates, we'll have kids on them this summer still. So we'll see what happens. Any questions or anything?
Didn't somebody bring up something like a playground over there too or something?
Yeah, the Lions wanted to
Yeah.
be a part of helping get that in there if
Yeah.
there's.
And there's a lot of area, you know, nothing's, I mean, that's just the preliminary plans and stuff like that. And that's part of the reason we don't have all the ball fields put in there. That would be something that, after we talk to the Lions, if it's still doable, we can. But, you know, nothing's been put in concrete at all.
So I might have missed this when the month, with me being gone, but when are you gonna start, or when do you anticipate to start?
Well, I would like to start doing, getting the preliminary stuff where we start contacting contractors and that sort of thing, so that once the new budget kicks in, we can kind of get a move on things, and if weather is good, we can get moved on sooner rather than later.
Nice.
So it gives us, you know, hopefully after Thanksgiving, I'd love to start making some phone calls if it looks like it's going to go through, and then go from there.
Thank you.
Will there still be a spot for mud volleyball over there?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dirt over there. There'll be a spot for mud volleyball. Yeah,
Cool.
that's actually been one of our bigger evenings
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
We'll enjoy it.
and as you can see, I mean, they're not up there yet, but we can really expand a lot of our trail system and stuff as we build with that area. So I think it'll be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
But that's all I have, and like I said, I have the engineer's estimate too that I can make copies of and get to you guys at a later time and go from there. I know that's pretty small. It didn't look that small on the PowerPoint thing when I was doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance.
Thanks, Lance.
All right, Dale Colrick, Director of Public Affairs. Okay.
Well, you did say that was gonna be short and sweet tonight.
Dan Crab? Oh, wait, hold on, I skipped over lots of people. I have them on, they're just on my head.
It's okay, I have nothing this evening.
Okay, and Loranda?
I just wanted to report on the cemetery software. We talked about it a little bit last meeting. But part of why we are doing such an in-depth, I guess, investigation on some of these plots is because Dwight Anderson has been a huge help. He's doing a lot of the scanning, and as a lot of you know, he worked 18 years for us in the cemetery and the parks, and so he's very good about catching things that need our attention, and he's helping with the mapping, and so right now we're probably about 3/4 the way done with the mapping, almost finished there, and about 2/3 the way done with the scanning. So we're getting pretty close. So that's all I had.
Very good. Thank you, Loranda. All right, Dan Crab.
Just real quick, I'm working on some revisions on the SRO agreement for the school board. Not nearly as far as it should be, but I'll get that to you guys shortly. And I did tell Chief Boss that Eagle is a horrible place and no one would want to live there and all that, so.
You did.
He'll be back. Thank you, Dan. Monty Torres.
All right, very good. A few quick updates. The first one is we are looking at the LEAP program for the city of Brush to sign up for that. The LEAP program is the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, and usually it's been tied to energy as far as heating your home. And so it's usually for natural gas, electricity, and some places firewood and coal, depending on where you live. You could get reimbursed for that. But there's a short program, it's anticipated it's only going to last for a couple years, but they're also looking at taking some of the COVID monies and putting it into the pot and allowing those who are struggling with paying their water, wastewater, stormwater bills. I'm not sure about the trash, but we're going to find out. But they can actually apply through the state. It's federally funded, and all we have to do is sign up to be part of that program. And there's a few nuances that we have to look at. They're supposed to be sending me the paperwork. They were supposed to send it today, but as of start of this meeting, they still haven't emailed it. But once I get it, Joanna, I'll look over one more time. We'll also see if that needs to be a council action or if I can just administratively sign it. and I'll let you guys know if we get signed up for that or not. Next item is, we do have a very large industrial user that's had a change in ownership, and we have some pretty delinquent, high dollar figure delinquencies on that account, and so we have to make some decisions here soon. So this week, Dell, Joanne, and I are gonna visit and come up with a plan on how to resolve that situation. And then the other thing I was gonna mention is the ladder truck for the fire department. We did get in more cost estimates for a purchase or lease purchase, and instead of it being upwards 2.1 million, I think it's 1.6, so it's much better than what we were thinking. I had a long discussion with the fire chief about it, and we now have those 4 quotes, I believe it is, for Joanne and I to look over, and also look at how we would potentially do a lease purchase option. We haven't committed to it, but it's something that we're looking at versus refurbishing for $600,000 and then having a refurbished truck versus a new one. So, also the end of this month, the UL, I'm not sure if that's Underwriters Laboratories or who that is, but the UL inspection of that ladder truck is going to take place, and that'll give us more information on the actual truck itself and the condition that it's in. So there were 2 previous assessments done on it, but this UL assessment on the ladder truck or inspection is the official one, is my understanding. So we'll get that information pulled together for the council, and between this council meeting and the next council meeting, Joanne will come up with a plan on if we were to move forward with the purchase, how and what's the most beneficial to the community.
It might be the first council meeting.
So we'll figure it out. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Oh, and also, we gotta do a going away party. We're gonna be planning that for Chief Boss.
Yes. Gonna need that. All right, mayor and council reports. Any councilors have anything to share?
No.
I know we have, for our active older adults, we have painting coming up Thursday.
Yeah, November 17th.
Thursday at 1.
I've had a few people contact me and
Oh, good.
sent over to Art, yeah.
Okay, good. Yep, I thought I'd pop over there and just see who shows up, just for fun. But so if you know of anybody that might want to do a painting class that doesn't like to do them in the evenings when he does the regular ones, he's given a 20% senior discount.
Yeah.
So, a little midday glass of wine to go with that. And I think that is. It's been really quiet. I can't.
We thought about doing like a movie night for our seniors, like an old school movie, like a throwback movie when our theater's open.
Yep.
You know, like a matinee, not some at night, because they're not going to come out at night.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
Yep.
you know, an older West Side, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
There's some really fun ideas.
Yeah,
that-
we had a really good, we met at the sack lunch, brown bag, I don't know what they call it there, but, and there was some ideas that were thrown our way, and so I think, yeah, we're gonna start working on that and hopefully creating a few more opportunities and stuff.
Yeah, I guess we haven't had a meeting since we actually had that.
Right,
yeah.
yeah, I should have
Yeah,
mentioned that.
forgot about that, but, yeah, that was really good. Got some good ideas. I had lost my voice that day, so Lance got to do all the talking.
Looked up and it was already 1 o'clock, so.
They were chatty though, it was fun. They were happy to share their ideas. So, but other than that, I don't think I have anything else to report. So, we are skipping our executive session, so I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I'm making a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Anybody want a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Hey, Lance.
Record time.
Lance,
Yeah.
Dentsu called me, I totally forgot. Do you have those, we're getting those coupons for the meals? You just gonna do Friday night, or is that what you're gonna do?
Huh?
We're gonna do this Friday night, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want me to bring
Does
them-
anybody
you
want
me to bring them to you, or you take
evaluation
them over to
forms?
Lori?